Hey fire signs, welcome back to my channel. This is Jen with Lighthouse Oracle, bringing you the energy forecast for the week. This is for today, the 21st of February, all the way till the end of the month, so till the 28th. We're going to look into the tarot cards to give me an idea of what the incoming energy will look like, and then we're going to go into some oracle cards to get additional messages and advice. So this is for all of my fire signs, sun, moon, or rising, whether you are an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what Spirit has incoming for fire signs for the rest of this week. If you come across this reading anytime during the week, there may be a message for you there. I am postponing my energy check-ins just for now. I wanted to do more pick-a-card readings, things like that, and I, fun fact, did not realize it takes takes up so much data, and that's something I didn't realize I had to watch out for, so I gotta budget, you know? So let's see, what does the incoming energy look like for fire signs for this incoming week? What does the incoming energy look like for fire signs this week? Oh, and today is the last day of retrograde. So I'm not sure if we have an additional shadow period after retrograde, but I mean, things should be going more smoothly. Things should be, communication should be back to normal somewhat. Oh, cute. Also, we are now in Pisces season too, so, you know, although communication's a lot clearer with retrograde or Mercury going direct. Ooh, oh, I love this. Okay, so I'm getting like kind of two separate things, but let's see if there's anything else Spirit wants us to know for the incoming week. But yeah, we're in Pisces season, which means, you know, emotions might come up. Pisces are also ruled by, is represented by the Moon card in the Major Arcana. So it's a lot of like hidden emotions, like things that are like underneath the surface that we don't really show in the day, more like in the nighttime type of thing, that are kind of surfacing, things that we reflect on. But I feel like it's not, you know, because there's it's just like things that are kind of bringing to the forefront, and things that I don't think it's as, oh, that's what I was gonna say, I don't think it's as drastic as retrograde because it's like the season, right? But it's things that might just come to the forefront of our mind, which Pisces season is from the 19th all the way till March 20th. So there's that. And I also do believe that there is a full moon in Virgo on the 27th. So yay. I did write a blog about the Pisces season and all of the properties in association with Pisces season in my blog, in which my website link is in the description box below too, as well as like all the decks that I use in my readings can be found there as well. So let's get into your reading. We have, starting off with the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Death card, the Six of Wands, and the King of Swords. So I did see kind of two separate messages like here. This is what I saw first. And then that's like the first, so I guess three messages, because you see 1, 2, and then 3 when you put them all together. So we're going to look at the first message, which is here. Please note that this is, oh, there's like a little ash or something. This is a general reading, so please take what resonates and get rid of what does not. But yeah, so we have, for this spread here, I definitely see a slow build towards a partnership of some kind. I definitely see like a lot of teamwork during this week, closing off this month strong, kind of having that. I mean, look at this. This is kind of like a family unit, you know, working together, working towards a common goal, weaving, you know, the patterns of your life together. And it's interesting. It's also interesting because on this woman's arm or shoulder, it has the little bow and arrow, which reminds me of Sagittarius. So maybe if you're a Sagittarius, this may resonate with you. The Knight of Pentacles is kind of, it's definitely action oriented, but it's slow, very slow and calculated, definitely kind of taking things step by step. Which the, like, say the Knight of Fire, or Knight of Wands, or Knight of Air, Knight of Swords, I'm so sorry, I'm like a little all over the place today. But the Knight of Swords is a little more like just straightforward, cut to the chase. Knight of Wands is definitely more just like, you know, action oriented, just adventurous. This is more stable, more, you know, planting seeds, taking, you know, looking at your map and, you know, planning the next step forward. So I do see a very stable connection here, a very, like, I don't see, it's definitely long lasting here. And, or at least if, you know, you're trying to build a connection, I do definitely see, you know, a partnership taking place because, you know, the Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork, and I do see it more of, it's definitely very much more stable with all of this Pentacles energy. I don't see, because if I did see more Wands energy, it would be more like fiery, passionate, but fire can also easily burn out. So that's one spread. This one I definitely see is as like a personal victory in regards to a situation, or yeah, like a situation or circumstance or something that you were that caused this sort of feeling of the end of the cycle. So there's this death, and so it's funny because in this particular card, there's death, but then there's also rebirth with the infinity symbol here. So it's kind of like you went through a lot. If this spread 2 resonates with you, you've gone through so much this past few weeks, and it's caused you to feel like you had to let go of something. It's the, like, you've had to move on from a certain situation that no longer served you, and in doing so, with the death causes a rebirth, and that rebirth has been really successful. Like, your rebirth, death and rebirth journey has been very victorious, and has been, or will be very victorious, because this is a forecast energy. So I definitely see this as like, you know, maybe you've been going through this or you're still going through it, but throughout the week, you will find that you are picking yourself up, you are rebuilding yourself, rebranding yourself, and you will be successful. And especially with the King of Swords here too, I'm definitely noticing more of this owl. Like, you have gained so much wisdom through this experience, whatever this experience has been, and you are a lot more clear with your thinking, a lot more, you've gained so much more wisdom. You see things from totally different perspectives now, because there's not only the owl, but there's a bat and a crow here, so a lot of winged creatures. So maybe if you see like birds or something, that might be a sign for you, or feathers, because I'm noticing the feathers here. So I definitely see, so the spread right here, this 3 card, would be like, you're transforming, like you're getting out of the cocoon, you're now like rebirthing into like a whole new victorious, like confident person, and you see things so much more clearly now. I definitely see a shift coming in this week for, I mean, but for both of these spreads, right? This spread is a lot more slow and steady, but it's stable and it's practical and it's long term. This one seems more like a, and this definitely has more to do with like a relationship or a partnership of some kind, especially with the Lovers card here. With this spread, I definitely see this more as a personal, like a self-development period where, you know, there's a circumstance that may have happened that may caused you to feel like you had to let go of something. But in doing so, in going through, like getting in the nitty-gritty of things, you came out victorious, and you will see things through a higher perspective, because the King of Swords, he's a no BS type of guy. He sees things like the veil is lifted. There's no like sugarcoating the truth from the King of Swords. So that's interesting. And then combining all of both of these together just is the last message. Is I definitely see this could have had to do with a relationship, right? Maybe there was like a build of the relationship, and then maybe the relationship may have ended, but it's rebirthing, or there may be kind of a, yeah, I'm definitely seeing this more as like maybe a relationship that was working, we were working really hard and things may have gone really well, but for some reason there may have been a blockage. And this may not have to be like a complete ending, or maybe there was just like an argument or something that didn't pan out. And so it has caused you to feel like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is, all that's left. But because you stepped into your power, you're coming out like through this situation also clear, seeing things for as they are, whether you want to continue this relationship, because it does seem like it works really well. Like there is a team effort here. There is like a planting of the seeds. It's definitely a slow building, but it's strong and it's steady and it feels good. Maybe something just didn't work out because, there could be external circumstances. There could have been an argument, like a petty argument that's just like, oh my God, this is over. This spread all together kind of, especially with this card, it gives me the feeling of like being a little over dramatic. Kind of like, oh no, woe is me. It's all over. It's all done now. I'll never like, DED dead kind of. And it's really interesting because I'm seeing like this swirl here in this picture and it like connects to this one. So I feel like when you see things through the eyes of love, it allows for this like sudden rebirth. So I feel like maybe, yeah, this could have to do with a partnership of some kind, maybe a romantic relationship where, there might have been a disagreement or a fight or something, and suddenly it's like all of this hard work is like, it's because it's like the Pentacles is it takes a long time. So it feels like a very strong investment. And so when something doesn't go right, it kind of feels like, oh, what did I do all of this for? What did we do all this for? But then if you notice like the two people, and it's like if you look through the eyes of love, you'll see like a whole, like a spark, like a whole new start, and that can help you become a lot more victorious. And it's so funny too, because if you notice, I'm gonna like pull these 3 cards up close. But if you see all these 3 cards, there's these white little dots. And it connects to this one, see, and it goes down. And it also connects to here. So it's like, it's like a chain, like a link. And it's like linked to this wreath. So it's really funny because these are the only cards that have that. And so I definitely see this like linking together, right? If you work together, you will be victorious no matter the outcome. When you see things clearly, when you see, and also the King of Swords is a very clear communicator. When you're allowing yourself to communicate much more clearly, much more in depth, that way you're able to see things better too. You're able to see things from a different perspective, see this argument, see this, misalignment from a different point of view. And that'll also help you become victorious in this relationship. And that's beautiful. But let's look into your oracle cards to see what other messages Spirit has for you. Advice. Ooh, this is the one. A time for healing. And it's funny because there's all of these little, the little white dots, which is stars, right? All these stars. And I do see that like kind of like flickering along these 3 cards. So I definitely see that there is a rebirth of this relationship, and definitely for the better with the 6 of Wands here. It's definitely for good. I don't see this as being like an awful relationship. Like, I don't see a lot of like pain and sorrow here. I definitely see this more, especially with the Death card, because the Death can be like, oh my God, death, that's awful. But I definitely see this more as a transition of this relationship. It may have been moving to another level, or it's changing the way it's, because relationships are not like one size fits all, right? Like there's definitely like a compromise that is made with both parties. There's definitely something that works, right? And it's kind of just, and I feel this is more of like an evolution of the relationship. So with this balsamic moon, the time for healing, I definitely see, you know, maybe it is a time to step, like kind of like release a little bit, kind of let it go a little bit, because you're always connected with these dots and these lines. You're always connected, but maybe, you know, we're still under lockdown. We're still, you know, together all the time. If you're living with this person, maybe it's like, I just need to move to the like to the room next door, or I just need to stay somewhere for like a week and gather my thoughts so I'm not mad at you all the time, and holding things like resentment, right? Seeing things from a clear picture can help you and your partner decide like what's the best route to take for healing. And maybe it's, you know, taking a few breaths away from each other, right? Because there is a point in time where you're around someone for so long where to like that, you know, them breathing is annoying, or, you know, it's like, why do you do that? Especially after an argument. It's not nice, right? So there's that. Let's see what other message Spirit has for fire. Oh, that's 420. Fire signs for this incoming week. What is the advice Spirit has? Oh, okay. That might be like the same 3 cards, but we're taking it, I guess, because it all came up. Ooh, it's a lot of S's. So we have service. Let me read that really quick. It says, you stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. And I feel like that's where this like transformation is. Maybe in the past, you know, it's like you're working together, but then it kind of felt like more of a transactional relationship. And now it's transforming into a place of like unconditional love and, you know, actually giving without expecting the other person to partake, even though, you know, it is a partnership, so it's both people working together, but it's kind of like both parties are realizing that it's definitely more than a transactional relationship, like, oh, I did this for you, so you got to do this for me, you know? It's not that anymore. And then we have self-acceptance, and this says, nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. Oh, you know what's super interesting? I feel like this is one for each of the spreads that I was doing. So I did one for these 3, one for these 3, and then one all together. So I feel like this one would be for these 3, the self-acceptance would be for these 3, and then the sanctuary would be the whole thing, the whole spread. So this one says sanctuary. It says, a sanctuary resides inside you no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath, enter, and sit down on the throne of your own heart. So yeah, exactly what I was just thinking. Like that just, oh, intuition. But like service, you know, you work together to create this love. And I do see kind of more of a teamwork. It's a team effort, right? It's not just, okay, I do something, then you do something to me for me. It's more like working together for a common goal. That's where the service is. The self-acceptance being with these 3 is like seeing things from a clear perspective of whatever situation that doesn't have to do with the last bread, you know, that causes death and rebirth within you, you know, lighting a new flame, lighting a new fire of victorious energy within you, and seeing things from like from the eyes of wisdom and more clear thought. And I feel like that's definitely with the self-acceptance. It's like you're accepting the situation, you're accepting the ending of the situation, you're accepting your victory, you're accepting that you have gone through this in order to gain much more wisdom. And then the sanctuary card is definitely, with all of these 6 cards combined, is like sanctuary is no matter what is happening, whether it's that argument like I mentioned, you know, you take a step, like it's kind of definitely all tying together. And you take a deep breath, maybe take a step back from each other, you know, go to the other room, maybe, you know, have a she shed, right? Or a he shed. And, you know, schedule some time where you two can be apart because, you know, maybe your energies are rubbing each other off on each other too much. Maybe things from one party's side is extra stressful, maybe due to work, things like that. The other party's side is just as stressful, work, things like that. And then, you know, both parties are just ready to charge. And especially for fire signs, right? Like it just takes one spark to like like have a wildfire. So we definitely want both parties to, you know, mend the fire, kind of simmer it down. And let's take a look at a final oracle card. I just bought these. This is the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Although I bought it on Etsy, so I don't think this is the original, but I do appreciate that these are really small in size. But I will link the real one, the one on Amazon, for you all to purchase in the description box down below. So let's see what self-care fire signs could find. Ooh, one definitely flipped over. Oh, look at that. Flow like water. Yeah. And it's so interesting because this is yet another card that like flows into each other. And that's pretty funny. So we have all these, and the number 24 may be significant, or 2 plus 4 is 6. We have 6, 6, and 6. So that's a very synchronistic number. You may see that a lot. And it's not like, you know, evil 666. It's just an angel number, which is actually kind of like a super 333 because it's doubled, right? So threes are like the Holy Trinity, the trifecta. Like it's like that perfect, like your three ancestors, your three main guides, your higher self, and things like that, mind, body, spirit, right? So it's like doubling that type of an energy, and that's beautiful. That's so cool. So definitely allow this week to flow. It may feel, yeah, I definitely feel, especially with all of these are like start with an S, so I definitely feel like, you know, flow like the letter S, right? There's no harsh lines, it's just a flow. So allowing the situation to kind of just take its course, pass through, and, you know, see things from a different perspective. So that's what I have for the tarot portion and oracle portion. Let's look into your charms. This is so cool. I love this. I'm loving the spread. Oh, I just ruined it all. But we are going to use the little sundial, little diagram here. Let's see, what is incoming? What does the incoming energy look like? The fire signs. Okay, well, ooh, we have the number 21 here, and the money sign here. We have the letter K, I believe. Yeah, it's the letter K on money. We have a destiny charm here, which has the numbers 5, 8, 9, and 0 on the travel. So maybe you're planning to travel somewhere safely, of course. I do condone, you know, safety. We have this Virgo charm here that it's interesting because I did just mention in the intro that we do, I believe, have a full moon on the 27th of this week. So maybe something, you know, it's a good time to heal during the full moon, maybe a ritual of some sort, especially with it being in the self and the travel, you know, how allowing the energy of Virgo to create practical plans, because Virgos love practicality and, you know, strategy and things going in like a logical order. So allow yourself to tap into that, to allow yourself to create this plan for you to move forward in your own journey. We also have this little dragon here. It's so cute. Little dragon on the family section. So maybe, I'm not entirely, oh, it's cute, stands up. But I do see it as a protective symbol. Dragons are very protective. I do feel it's more maybe, you know, this week your family is being protected from, like, through the energies of dragons. Dragons are protecting your family. at this time. This charm is listen, 7, 4, 5, and 1. And especially with this being in the center of the whole chart, I'm definitely getting this more of a, oh, and this all reduces down to 8. So it's always listening, right? Listen, maybe this would be the forefront of your incoming week. Listen more, pay attention to what comes up. We have this little wheel here, which I feel like you're taking the reins of a certain situation, kind of steering the ship. You are the captain of your ship. And this could be in regards to love and friendship, especially when I saw, like, you know, this is a team effort. And it takes more than just one person to operate a whole ship, right? There's people, you know, working on the sails. There's people working on different parts of, you know, the crew, right? It takes a crew to steer, to drive a boat, but it, you know, you're the one steering it. You're the captain of the ship. And I feel like, you know, wherever direction you decide to take a friendship or this, you know, partnership, it's still a team effort, right? You still have to, you know, have clear communication with, you know, the people on your crew in order to get to where you want to be. So I definitely see this as like clear communication. And then we have this seahorse here, which it reminds me, it's so cute. It just reminds me of like, there's another, that's kind of funny. There's another tarot deck that I have where it's the seahorses that are illustrated for the lovers. So it's so funny because that's kind of in the friends place here. So I definitely see maybe, and yeah, maybe it's like I said before, like adding all this together, this could be like another, like an evolution to a relationship, maybe an evolution to a friendship, kind of maybe. It may not be turning into like a romantic relationship, or maybe it is, but it could also just, you know, it's becoming much more like a steady friendship, like a real friendship, you know? And that takes just as much teamwork as a, you know, a romantic one does, right? So we also have this wing, this little, and I do see that as like angels that are guiding you through your journey, kind of teaching you, and especially with this, and I'm looking at the crow here, like, yeah, channeling the King of Swords energy, seeing things from a different point of view, right? Birds have that bird's eye view, so seeing the situation from a bird's eye view, and also recognizing that maybe your spirits and your angels and guides are asking you to flow more like water, you know, in the situation, which is beautiful. I love that. Oh, and finally, we have this charm. It's not really a charm, it's just a piece of paper. Oh, but it says where. And I have like a who, what, where, when, where, why in this, in my charm bag too. And for the where to be in this home, I think maybe this week too, you're trying to steer your week, steer this place into a location. Maybe you're relocating, maybe you're thinking about relocating, maybe you're trying to find where home is, like where is a true feeling of home. And maybe that's something to pay attention to listen to maybe throughout the week, you'll start picking up different, you know, signs and synchronicities that are guiding you towards a specific place. Maybe you'll hear a specific place more than once, you know, and you'll find yourself, you know, researching it, or you find yourself getting ads for it, you know, things like that. So I do see that as paying attention to it and taking a look, but this is what I have for you. Zoom that in. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated with you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear all about it. Yeah, I won't be doing energy check-ins for now, at least. I want to do more things to at least pick up my channel before I start kind of fully diving in, because this does take time and energy, and not that I don't want to do it, I want to do it, but I do have a day job, so I need to like focus there as well. So yeah, I hope you all have a great week. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I hope you all come back and see me in another reading. Okay, take care, fire signs. Bye.